Well, hello there, folks, and a very warm welcome back to What's for Tea. It's lovely to see you all again, and I hope that I find you very well indeed. And this week's Meals of the Week is being brought to you by Jasper, and this section of the video is very kindly sponsored by Catkin. As you'll know, we've been getting Catkin for about a year and a half, 2 years now, so I was delighted when they got in touch to ask if they could sponsor a video. Now, obviously, Jasper needs no intro. You've all gotten to know him over the last 8 years, and you do know that he's been on this for about a year and a half, 2 years now. We used to buy his food from the supermarket, and you will have seen this over the years in my shopping hauls if you watch them. But we did have to keep changing his food because he would get bored, sniff at it, walk away, leave half of it, and there were loads of waste. So we decided to switch to this about, like I said, about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I don't remember exactly, and we have never gone back because he eats every single morsel. He still gets really excited for this, and you should hear him in the morning. His coat has never looked better, and every time we take him to the vet for a wee checkups and things, they always comment on how healthy his coat is. So yeah, he's in great shape, given, he is an older cat, he is getting on a wee bit, but he is thriving on this stuff. And also, bonus, his poops aren't as smelly as they used to be either, and with him being an indoor cat, that's obviously a bonus for us. Like I said, he has, he just loves this stuff, and it's probably because it is 100% meat. There's no nasties, no fillers in there, because obviously supermarket meat, there's very little actual meat in them. So I reckon this is why he's enjoying the recipes so much. And I know that it is 100% meat, but it really does look so meaty, and it smells delicious as well. That sounds so strange to say, and I often wondered, if I served this with mashed potato, would Mr. What's for Tea even notice the difference? But yeah, I haven't tried that one yet. But if you are planning on giving it a go, don't forget to use that wee discount code, and it'll get you 50% off of your first trial box. So let me go and show you what we had this week, as usual, starting off on Monday through till today, which is Sunday. So as you can see, on Monday we had a mince round, and I feel as though we haven't had a mince round for ages. So we got some creamy mashed potato with some garlic and butter. That's the mince round there, and I do have a video recipe for this I will leave down below, just in case you want to go and make one for yourself. It's just a minced beef and onion pie, and it's delicious, and we like to have baked beans at the side. And for Jasper's tea on Monday, he had gobble, which is the turkey recipe, and that includes the thigh, the liver, the gizzards, a wee touch of chicken, and a blend of nutrients as well. So just packed with good stuff. If you want to see what's in all the different recipes, if you just pop onto the Catkin website, you'll get all the information there. So yeah, plenty of information on their website. And then moving on to Tuesday, I made a curry. I typically make a sort of Chinese takeaway style curry, but from time to time we like to have more of an Indian inspired curry. So lots of Indian spices in there, garam masala and such. And I've done this one in the slow cooker, and it was absolutely falling apart. I think I left it in there about an hour too long, but it was lovely just the same. So we've got a wee chapati at the side, which is obviously Indian bread. And then we've got some lovely soft basmati rice as well. And I think basmati rice in particular goes really well with an Indian style curry. There's just something about that really, really soft texture in the rice, and that strong punchy flavour from the curry sauce. Like I said, this was in the slow cooker about an hour too long. So as you can see, it is starting to fall apart. And then a good handful of coriander on the top. And I'm amazed when people say they don't like coriander. I love coriander, but some people reckon that it tastes like soap. There's a sort of soapy flavour from it, which I just don't get. So I don't understand that one. And then this is what Jasper is having. He is having the cluck, which is the chicken recipe. And this is one of his favourites. We've tried them with most of them now. I think there's about 7 flavours now that you can choose from. And you can choose them yourself. You can have all the same flavour if you like, or do a wee bit of a pick and mix with the ones that you prefer. Just trial and error to see what your cat prefers. Then moving on to Wednesday, I made toad in the hole, and for a change I decided to make these wee individual ones, because when I do this normally, I normally do a big one and then just sort of chop it into 4 pieces, but this worked out really, really well. And these were done in wee mini sort of loaf tins, and they're great individual portions, ideal for one. And I do have a video recipe for toad in the hole I will leave down below, and it's just basically sausages baked into Yorkshire pudding. So if you like Yorkshire pudding and sausages, it's kind of best of both worlds. And then just a few chips on the side instead of my usual mashed potato, and then some steamed sliced carrots as well. And then just to take the dryness off of everything, I've whipped up a quick onion gravy, a nice thick onion gravy just for over the top. Yeah, absolutely delicious. And like I said, I do have a video recipe for toad in the hole, just in case you want to go and watch the video and make it for yourself, because I know that it's not very common in other parts of the world, but it's very, very popular here. And I'll just quickly show you what Jasper is having. So he is having moo tonight, and as you can see there, is pacing around waiting. He knows the sight of these. As soon as you get one of these out the fridge, he knows immediately that he's about to have his tea, or about to have his breakfast or whatever. But yeah, you'll find him pacing about the kitchen when he sees one of these make an appearance. And then moving on to Thursday, we had meatballs, something else we haven't had for such a long time. And again, I've done these in the slow cooker, and I love the slow cooker for days where you're going to be busy. You just throw it in the morning and then it's ready at night. But the danger of the slow cooker is, if you get caught up or if you forget, you've a tendency to leave things in there a bit longer than maybe they should be. And the same as the curry the other night, these were in there probably a bit too long, but they are lovely. But things just fall apart when they're in there too long, but they just taste the same. So we've got some creamy mashed potato, some garden peas on the side. That's those meatballs which have turned more into meat flats, and then the gravy from the slow cooker as well. And everything is kind of thickened up really well, as you can see. But the smell off of these and the taste off of these were just lovely. I don't think I've shared a video for slow cooker meatballs, and if not, I will check, and if not, I will put a recipe up for these as well. And then Jasper had the gobble, which is the turkey recipe. Like I said, there are lots of different recipes. These are just a few of his favourites. We tend to just order the ones that we know that he prefers. So these are the ones that he prefers. And then moving on to Friday, we had Hotpot again, not one we've had for a wee while. And I do also have a video recipe for this that I've done a wee while back, so I will leave this down below and you can go and watch the video and make it for yourself if you like. And we had some steamed tender stem broccoli on the side. And the hot pot you can make with mince, you can make with chicken, you can mince beef, or you can make it with sort of stewing beef or chicken or some kind of meat substitute. It's completely up to you and very versatile, just with some sliced potatoes on the top. And this is lovely, especially on a colder night or one of those rainy days. Just perfect. This is one of my favourites. I like anything minced beef based or any sort of minced meat based. Yeah, it's just like a big warm hug on a plate. And then Jasper had the cluck, which is the chicken recipe again. And then moving on to yesterday, we had a very simple macaroni cheese. And sometimes I do my macaroni cheese in the oven, just to finish it off and make it a wee bit browner on the top. But it does make it a wee bit drier as well. Mr. What's for Tea prefers it this way, and it's much more saucy and not as dry. I prefer it the other way, but this is his favourite. So yeah, I didn't bother putting this one in the oven. So we've got a few chips on the side, again, just with some garden peas, which I think go lovely with this saucy macaroni cheese. And that's just a creamy white cheddar sauce, and there's garlic in there. There's a wee touch of mustard as well. If you haven't tried adding mustard to your cheese sauce, give it a go. It's a complete game changer. And as you can see, Jasper has gone for the gobble, which is the turkey recipe tonight. And then moving on to today, we had chicken, one of our favourites, and such a versatile meat. You can turn this into all sorts of things, but typically I just like to poach it and keep it nice and natural and just have a few veggies at the side. I don't think it really needs much else, but obviously you can do what you like with your own chicken. But we've got some roast potatoes there. I like to parboil mine, finish them off in the air fryer. I've got some poached chicken breast there on the side as well, which is my favourite way of having chicken. It just gives it such a lovely soft texture. We've got some carrots and sweet corn. got a wee Yorkshire pudding again. We've had that a couple of times this week. And then a nice chicken gravy as well, just to take the dryness off of everything. Yeah, a lovely plateful, and again, lovely for one of the colder nights. It's a bit like a warm hug on a plate, as I like to say. And then Jasper tonight had the moo. This is one of his favourites. When I warm it through in the microwave, it produces a wee bit of a gravy, turns into a bit of a stew. So I'll just quickly show you how this arrives to you. You will receive your box every 4 weeks with your selections in there, and that will be good for 4 weeks, and then you'll get your next order, obviously 4 weeks after that. Everything is really well packed, and it will arrive to you frozen, and you will just take this straight from your box to your freezer. And then every couple of days we like to lift a few out from the freezer into the fridge, and that just sort of thaws it gently and nicely. And then in the morning and just pop it into the microwave just for a few seconds to warm through, just so that he's not eating it and it's far too cold. You don't have to do that, but that's optional. But that's something we've been doing the last couple of months. So yeah, that's just how we use this. And this is just a few of the recipes that are available. There are more recipes than this available to you, so it's up to you what you choose. But do let me know down below if you get catkin already, or if you're planning on giving it a go. And if you do decide to give it a go, don't forget to use my 50% off code that you can use on your trial box. Well worth using if you like the look of it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching if you're still here at this point, and a huge thank you as usual to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page, and to the channel members here on YouTube as well. For you all for watching, leaving your lovely comments, for those that share the videos, those that have bought me a coffee using the Buy Me a Coffee link, and those that have left me a super thanks donation on the channel as well. It's all very much appreciated, and I will catch up with you during the week back here on What's for Tea. So take care and bye for now. Bye now.